Today we're going to make some homemade cream of mushroom soup. It's got mushrooms, butter, onions, garlic. I made some homemade chicken broth the other day. And I've got some flour, it's coconut flour, and some cream, nutmeg, pepper, and salt. This is a recipe I randomly found online. I've pulled out my grandma's old chicken fryer. It's about 4 inches deep, and this is one of the ones that say 8, has the markings 8I on it, and that's the only markings it has, other than the handle that comes to a point at the bottom. So this is Mom said it was a chicken fryer, or that's what Grandma always used it for. So we're going to use that to get things going. I'm going to get some butter melted in this skillet. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is I am making some tomorrow for an experiment. Instead of chicken and rice casserole, I'm going to experiment and make chicken and cauliflower casserole. So, and that recipe calls for cream of mushroom soup. Well, part of the reason why I'm doing I'm doing clean eating and low carb, so I'm trying to make as much stuff myself as I can, and that includes the cream of mushroom soup and the chicken broth. So I made the chicken broth a couple days ago, and I just I bought a chicken, already cooked chicken, rotisserie chicken, and I pulled all the meat off to use for the chicken and cauliflower casserole tomorrow. And then the bones I took and I boiled them with water in a crock pot, and ended up making about 12 cups of broth for $5, on top of having all the meat that came off of it too. So it's a good way of saving some money, as well as saving some extra calories and salt and preservatives. So I'm going to melt this butter and I'll get back to you. Okay, got the butter melted, and I'm going to add the onions and garlic, I maybe could have used my smaller skillet, but since this is the first time making it, I would rather guess on the side of having too much skillet than not enough. Now I'm going to saute that and add in my mushrooms. It's sliced mushrooms. So now I'm going to cook all this until the mushrooms are soft. But I'm going to go through and kind of break up the mushrooms a little bit. Alright, I'll show you what this looks like when it is all softened up. Okay, the mushrooms are good and soft and browned. So now I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour. Get that all stirred up here. Hey, by the way, it's Black Friday, which means I am officially allowed to listen to Christmas music. All my coworkers make fun of me because I whistle and sing Christmas music all year long. But now they can't do anything but just enjoy and endure it because I am legal. And here is 2 cups of the homemade chicken broth that I made. I'm just going to stir that in. And like I said, this is just a recipe I found online. I honestly don't remember where I got it. But that's the beauty of the internet. You can seek anything and find it. So now I'm going to stir it until it thickens up a little bit, and I'll get back with you. Well, that's cooking to my 1 cup of cream. I'm adding flour, some pepper, salt, and nutmeg. And I'm going to stir that together. And then once the chicken and mushrooms, or I should say the chicken broth and mushrooms and all that has thickened up, that's whenever I'll add this to the skillet. But that's not ready yet, so I'm just going to go on and get this mixed together so this can have time to sit and thicken up itself a little bit. Okay, the mushrooms are thickening up, so now I'm going to add in the cream. Now I'm just going to stir this frequently and let it thicken up until it's the right consistency for cream of mushroom soup. I'll show you when it's done. Now, the consistency is just right if I was going to serve this with a sandwich or salad and eat it as regular soup. But I'm using this as an ingredient in, like I said, the chicken and cauliflower casserole. So, and it calls for a can of cream of mushroom soup. Well, when you get a can of cream of mushroom soup in the store, it's thick and pasty. Well, this is not that way at all. And the mushroom in it are little bitty bits. So, whereas in here, you know, it's still nice sized pieces of mushroom. So, what I'm going to do is you can see the size of it. I'm going to scoop out a lot of the mushroom, the bigger pieces, and I'm going to run that in a small food processor, just so that way it can kind of break it down a little bit. And I'm going to keep the soup part simmering, and so that way that can thicken up. I probably won't take it as thick as cream of mushroom soup, but it definitely needs to be thicker than what it is right now. So I'm going to scoop that out and I'll get it pureed and show you what it looks like. So I use my little mini food processor, and you can see I've got it chopped up pretty fine, and I'm going to add this back to the mushroom soup. And there are definitely several bigger pieces in there, But like I said, we just don't want a whole bunch of the great big chunks in it. And this is really easy to do. So, you know, if you're somebody that is looking for ways to, you know, help yourself out healthy-wise, trying to add new things to your diet, this really is, you know, this way of cooking is very, very easy and very new cooking person friendly. I like that, huh? Anyway, but if you're not someone who likes to cook, or maybe you like to cook but you just don't know where to start, pick up a can of something that's an ingredient in something such as rotel. I made some homemade rotel the other day. Pick up a can of something, look at the ingredients, and play around and make something up, or Google something and see what Google says about it, you know, as far as how to make something. There's so many ways that you can eat clean and, you know, not have so much processed food. And again, not that processed food is bad for everybody, but if you're somebody who needs to shed some weight, or, you know, just want to eat healthy, it's definitely a good way to go. So now the consistency of this, oh, this thing's heavy. It's still pretty thin. So like I said, I'm going to leave this on the stove, and I'm going to let this baby simmer for quite a while and see if I can get it to thicken up. So here we have it. It's not uber thick, but it's good enough for the chicken and cauliflower casserole that I'll be making. I did siphon off, or strain out, a lot of the mushrooms. It just made it too thick and and grainy. That's the word I'm looking for. Too grainy. So I pulled that out, and I will freeze this like in ice cube trays, and I'm going to use this in other dishes. So, you know, you can always reuse, recycle, and there you have it. So, homemade cream of mushroom soup.